Hi everybody, today on Days with Dad we are going on a kayak adventure to explore some of the local islands. So we're going to start off by showing you a map here. This is Google Maps and I'm trying to show you Swansboro. This is the downtown area where you can also find Bicentennial Park. You can go in right there, you can see it on the map. You can also launch your kayaks from there, but we went across the bridge here into the Cape Carteret area. And if you keep going, you will see off to the left a place called New Sporting Goods. So I'm trying to show you on the map here. As you keep going down, you'll pass the Dunkin' Donuts and a few shops to your right, and eventually you get to there, the new sports shop. You're going to turn left there at the light and you follow the road back and go left again. And there is the park, and this is where we put in our kayaks. Doesn't really show it on the map here too well, but you're going to see two islands, and we do see the Cedar Point Trail in the video. The first island doesn't have a name. As you can see, we named it Gladiator Island, just off, a hand. And then the second island we go to does have a name, and it's called Jones Island. So we're going to try to show you some more. There are just thousands of islands up and down the coast here, tiny little sandbar islands. Some of them are bigger and have forests on them, so we're going to visit a few today that are big and have forests. Yep, Tideland Trail's up ahead.
See that one with the bridge?
All right, we're going to that one. Here we go. Today on Days with Dad, we are on a kayak adventure, and we've kayaked ourselves to a little island. Doesn't have a name. Guys, what are we going to name the island? Gladiators Island. I love it. That's a great name. For you guys not familiar with the area, these are called sable palm miners. So if you can see, it is a type of small palm. It doesn't get big. It's more like a bush. We also have the sable palms, the big sable palms, and those do get large. Anyway, here's a little island, and let me show you some more stuff. All right, we've decided to name this island Gladiator Island. So definitely be aware of a snake called a copperhead. I'll put a picture of it. Timberback rattlers, and everybody's favorite plant, poison ivy and poison oak. It's sneaky. All right, it'll be sitting there and brush up against your uncovered foot. So, but we'll say goodbye to Gladiator Island for now and go on back to the boats right there on the beach. Okay, here's where we pulled in. You find your little sandy spot. You pull up, pull the kayaks up, and we have hereby named this Gladiator Island. Yep, you named it. All right, so let's see what other islands we can find. There's one right there. Let's go see what this looks like. All right, so here's some of these gnarly old trees. Very easy, good for climbing. Just make sure that they will bear your weight and you don't break it and fall. And also watch out for the seagrass. Definitely want to keep the grass so that the islands don't suffer erosion. We're gonna go find some more islands. All right, I've stopped rowing to take a video for a moment. Up ahead is Jones Island, where we are headed. And off in the distance, we can see it really good here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. That is Swansboro. That's the bridge where you can go to the sandbars. Here we are on Jones Island. So this one has a much larger beach. I'll show you. All right, here we are on Jones Island. This one's named, so we're not gonna name it. As you can see, the beach is much bigger here. Trees not so great for climbing. I'm gonna just walk down the beach. I don't know if you can see across the way, there's the park we came from, and there's Swansboro again. And let's walk down the beach here. So the kids are playing with the driftwood, and just going to show you a few things. A lot of driftwood. Here is a plant that's very interesting. It's called sea oxeye. It blooms almost all year except in the winter. Big, pretty flowers. You can find it all along the dunes here. And you want to be very careful of the grass and the vegetation as it keeps the beaches from eroding. And if you can make it out here, this is a great place to spend the day fishing, swimming. If you can find some trails on the islands, exploring the islands. This is a big one, so plenty of exploration. Not going to find many seashells, but you will find some great views, some great sunsets. So far off, that's Cape Carteret. Out there, that should be the Tideland Trail. Over there across the way, that's where we came from. That's the park right behind New Sporting. And off in the distance, right there is Swansboro. And this is the view from Jones Island. All right, let's head on out. Well, look, this is muscadine. That is a wild grape. These more of them palm liners. Sable palms, some people call them cabbage palm. Here's more muscadine growing. Look at that. Very thick skins, and they have seeds in them, but they are very sweet and juicy, especially if you get a good one. Looks like another thing about muscadine, they tend to spread. They are eaten by squirrels. The squirrels will spread the seed. So you can see that there's quite a bit of it growing around here. This would not be a bad island to spend some time on. Very typical of the maritime forest. We have the oaks, the sable palms. This looks like it might be a Yopon holly. Looks like some hollies, yep. Hollies, of course the oaks are dominating the island here. And of course you see the sables all throughout. All right, well, it looks like it's getting to be sunset-ish. Sunset's very long here. I think it's about 7 o'clock at night right now here. It typically doesn't get dark until 8, after 8, 9 o'clock, depending on what time of summer it is. But we better start paddling back so that we don't get stuck in the dark. And we'll come out again and show you guys some more of the islands. Maybe spend the day on one of the beaches. Since I'm not the best at videography, I decided to share some pictures and video that Mom took and let everyone know that Jones Island is part of Hammocks Beach State Park system. And through Hammocks Beach State Park, you can pay to camp out overnight on the island, as well as other islands that we will show in future videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned and watch the end for the amazing sunset that we got to experience when we got back and were taking the kayaks out of the water.